A person once came to the great Maggid of Mizrich, Rabbi Doverberry, and he said to him, Rebbe, I'm overtaken with lots of negative and intrusive thoughts to the point that I cannot concentrate, I can't focus, I'm very overwhelmed. What should I do? The Maggid said to him, you know what, why don't you travel to my student, Rabbi Zev, of the city of Zhitomir, and he will help you. The man traveled to Rabbi Zev of Zhitomir. In the evening, he comes to his house, he knocks on the door, there's no answer. And he knocked and knocked for a while, there's no answer. So he left and he comes back in the morning, he knocks on the door of Rabbi Zev. Rabbi Zev opens up the door with a big smile and he says, what could I do for you? And he said that our Rebbe the Maggid sent me to you so that you will give me some good advice of how to deal with my overwhelming negative thoughts. Rabbi Zev said to him, well, I just gave you an advice. What do you mean? What kind of advice did you give me? He said, last night you came to me and you were knocking at my door for a long time and I did not open the door. And the same is true. When the negative thoughts come popping up at your door, you should reject them and not allow them to come in, because we can choose what we want to think, positive thoughts or negative thoughts. And when the negative thoughts come knocking on the door of our psyche, you can choose to reject it and only allow positive and happy thoughts. And when you're always filled with happy and positive thoughts, that will create happy and positive emotions, and that will create a positive life and a positive reality, because you're always going to have positive energy. In the opening verse of this week's Parsha, God gives us a mitzvah that we should appoint judges and police officers in all of your cities. But the Torah uses the term b'chol she'arecha, which means in all of your gates. So the mystics explain that there is a spiritual and psychological interpretation, and that is, God is telling us that we should place judges and police officers on all of our personal gates. Our personal gates are our eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. So that when we use our eyes to look only on good things and positive things and not to look at evil or immoral things, because whatever you look comes into your psyche, into your brain, and it has an effect. And the same is true. You smell things that you're allowed to smell, and with your ears, we listen and we hear positive things, good things, words of Torah and words of wisdom, and not negative things or gossip and so on. And the same is true with the gate of our mouth, that we are careful what goes in and what goes out. What goes in should only be healthy food and kosher food, and what goes out, that the words that we use should only be positive words and words of wisdom and words of kindness, and to stay away from negative speech. And this is what God is telling us, that you should place judges and police officers at all of your gates, so that your psyche and your mind is filled with good and positive things. As the Tzemach Tzedek said, that if you think good, it will be good, because our mind creates positive emotions, and in return it creates a positive reality. Have a very good Shabbos.